Hey, it's Adam here again, talking through the making of my comic series, The Island of the Lost. Today, I want to talk through kind of the things I've been thinking about as I'm writing, as far as, the mystery behind my story and when to reveal information, because I think that's really fun to kind of play with. And it's something that I personally really love in stories or movies or shows that I watch. I really love that. That's one aspect of storytelling that I really appreciate and connect with. Basically, when I'm, throughout the whole story, there's some sort of question in my head of what's going on. I don't really know what's going on. I have enough to understand, each scene, how each scene is playing out, but there's always some question in the back of my mind, what's really happening here? I love that. I think that's really cool, and it just keeps you engaged with the just what's coming next. If you have questions, and if you're constantly introducing new questions, or maybe you're answering questions but then that's revealing more questions, like, I think it's really fun to have a story that the whole time until the very end you have some sort of question in your mind of what is going on here. It's just, like I said, it just keeps you more engaged and interested, and you're just like, I gotta know what's happening. So I think that's really cool. So that's something I want to incorporate in really all of my stories, and maybe some more than others. But for this one, I feel like it's definitely something that I want to put a focus on. Um, so in my head, there are kind of like, as far as comic books go, there are a few different kind of aspects to think about, or basically a few different places to reveal information, and one might be, within a page, with basically a page turn, right? The page turn to an even page, flipping that page over, boom, it's a reveal. It's something that maybe is unexpected, or something that answers a question. That initial, right when you flip the page, see the image, that's one way that you might kind of like reveal an answer or reveal a mystery or something like that. So page by page, you can reveal things. Another way is just throughout an issue. Just say, like, at the beginning of the issue, we kind of have one question in the reader's mind, and by the end of it, we answer that question. Or maybe somewhere in the middle or whatever. So within an issue, and then the final one is obviously just within the entire series. Is there this overarching question of, what's going on, that is then revealed at the end? um, for me, yes, no, I can definitely say that I have plans to have incorporate all three of those kind of durations of when to reveal a mystery, or a question, or whatever it is. And I kind of want to just kind of talk through some examples that I have come across, just within really writing the first couple issues here. Um, the first one, well, so basically, to start off the first issue, one example is, I'm starting my character in this first issue, is talking on the phone, and by at the beginning of the page, you don't know where that person is at all, because it's a lot of close-ups, and then it's, maybe going to the his daughter that he's talking to in her home, right? So you don't really know where the person is, but at the end of the page, or the end of the two pages, I can't remember how many pages it spans. There is a reveal of, oh, well, he's in a jail. He's yeah he or he's at he's in jail. He's talking on the phone in jail. So that's an example of just revealing a mystery that's playing out literally within one or two pages. But just the fact of, like, you're like, at the beginning of that, you don't really know where he's at. You're maybe making one assumption, and then at the end, it's a reveal of, oh no, oh, I see, I understand the full picture now. So that's an example of a quick reveal. Um, and then another kind of example going along with that is, well, why is he in jail? We don't know that at the beginning. So that's really my teaser. And then I go into a completely different thing on the page after that tease. That's kind of like my intro tease. After that, I go completely different. I jump ahead in time a lot. And at the end of the issue, I chose to come back to that scene. Um, and before that, right before I come back to the scene, is the reveal of why he is in jail, right? So that's an example of having a mystery throughout the whole issue that you're thinking, oh, I wonder why he's in jail. What happened, right? And it's kind of slowly building to that, and then boom, towards the end at the climax, really is the reveal of why he's in jail. And then comes that final kind of outro scene, which ties in, uses, I just kind of, it's kind of like a little bookmark from, that ties in the beginning to the end, but really the climax is the reveal to that answer. So that's an example of revealing information, or mystery or question or whatever within an issue. And then my example that I am planning on having throughout the whole series really stems around the question of the watches that they're given on the island when they are given the instruction to play the game. Originally, I had an idea of explaining what the watches were. And it's okay if I say it here because things have changed and it's actually not quite like that anymore. But originally I was saying my thought was, well, the watch would be a number that indicates a target that matches with somebody, and if you killed that person, you would win the game. But now my changing on that it has switched, because I thought that was a little too. It was just a little too obvious, right? So it's just it was. I wasn't really using that as a mystery. That was just a rule in the game. But now I thought, well, maybe I can make that a little bit more of a mystery, at least to the characters, right? So basically, the rules of the game don't say what the number on the watch is. Beyond, the only thing it says is the number on the watch corresponds with your target. So for the players, they don't know what that means exactly. They might think that, oh, well, this is the person I'm supposed to kill. This person. This is my target, right? So some of them will think that. Some of them might think that but decide not to do that. Some of them might have other ideas of what this target is, what this number means. But really, I'm gonna try to hold off on revealing what that is until really towards the end of maybe even, I mean, in my head it will be the last issue of what that really is. So that would be an example of a mystery that will string out throughout the entire series, that will be introduced literally in the first issue, and then answered in the last issue. At least at this point in my head, that's what it will be. So I think, these are examples of kind of things, ways to keep the mystery going, keep your reader engaged, and I want to keep having these every issue. I want to maybe try to introduce something, a lot of things in the backstory will be like kind of reveals within issues because of the way I'm doing it. I'm hoping to do, every issue is a different character's perspective. So once we see the person's backstory, every scene that we go to that's really a flashback will slowly reveal their backstory, and then kind of like the final flashback will really just kind of give you an idea of, oh, okay, I understand where this character is coming from. So that in itself is kind of just a little bit of a mystery. Again, it's like it's revealed quickly within your reading, but you still are always, throughout the pages of that issue, you're going to have something in the back of your mind like, oh, I'm not really sure where this is going. And what it does is, for a reader, it allows them to have ideas, right? And they're like, oh, I bet this is what's happening. Oh, no, that doesn't make sense anymore because now this counteracts that. Like, so just having that kind of like dialogue in the reader's head of like, oh, what do I think is going to happen here? And then once that reveal, it's, you hope that it's satisfying for them, and that's always hit or miss. But if it is, then it's like, oh, okay, I didn't see that coming, but I like that. Or, oh, yep, that's I knew it, and that's satisfying too. So just anyway, it's just kind of like what I'm thinking about, trying to keep everything interesting and keep the readers engaged and keep that mystery going. And always having questions, come up, and then questions answered, and then more questions come up, and then maybe having a few questions that are throughout the whole thing. So yeah, that's kind of how I'm feeling, and I'm hoping to keep that going as I keep writing the issues here. So let me know what you think about that, and if you have any tips or strategies or things you like to do to kind of reveal a mystery. See you next time.